as I just dissolve into absolute nothingness and perish in the darkness, my last thoughts are, that's how I found out I was dating my cousin. Mixtape.
Did the mixtape? Ew! Dang it! I'm on camera.
Free cremation.
A chicken goes. Hey, yo, it's Ja
and Davey.
Welcome to the Decent Take Show, serving mediocrity to the masses or greatness to the globe.
You decide.
That was the fastest I've ever said that. Steak-Umms and Neil deGrasse Tyson are going at it on the twit.
Steak-Umm!
I hate that so much. So, Steak-Umms and Neil deGrasse Tyson are feuding on Twitter.
Oh,
what better
man.
place to get into an argument? Wait, what better person to get into an argument than an off-brand steak company that is frozen?
And if you don't know who these people are,
Who,
let me
Steak-Umms?
explain. Neil deGrasse Tyson is, Steak-Umm's is a...
What?
What? Do you
You're
know
s-
who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
He's
course.
an idiot on Twitter who always talks about science being true.
I don't know if that's what he always talks about.
Then what else does he talk about?
Well, he's an idiot on Twitter that talks about science always being true. And
What is this bit? What is this bit?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Anyways, are you
Steak-Umms.
wise enough to shepherd the future of your own civilization? That was his most recent tweet.
Oh, okay.
Stupid.
I was like,
Will you
what?
get into, okay, are you going to explain who Steak-Umm's is
Yes.
and who Neil deGrasse
Yes.
Tyson? Because I don't remember that being in the show notes
Nah.
on you saying anything, really. I don't see one thing in here that says Davey
We don't
says.
script it out as to who says what.
And maybe we should start.
It just says, Jav says, and then it's the entire show. I just sit here quietly like,
Then we turn your camera and your mic off. We bring back Nick.
oh, yeah. I miss that guy.
Okay, Steak-Umm's, if you don't know what they are a meat product where they're just steak that you put in the freezer and then you cook it and you like put it in a burrito or in your breakfast.
Yeah.
My uncle in Ohio absolutely loves Steak-Umm's.
Really?
I mean, like,
I had never heard of them before this.
like daily Steak-Umm's.
Mhm.
Daily.
I never heard of them before this.
Have you ever had one?
No, never
They're
have.
not that good.
Well, I would say that even if they're not that good, and for me and whoever else has never heard of them, this is definitely a way to get them on the map. I
It
love
is.
this.
And if you want to explain something pretty much worse, you can tell us who Neil deGrasse Tyson is.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is a guy who believes that science is always true. No, he's a guy who is, I love that picture. He basically is just this dude who knows a lot of stuff about science. He has a show, I think, on National Geographic. He does a lot of interviews and a lot of notable things within the world
this isn't
of
even
science.
This isn't even the guy that I don't like.
Who's the guy you don't like?
The guy that I don't like is that black dude that white dude that thinks he's black. Sean who? No, not Logic, Jonah. We'll get to him later.
That was nice. That was nice, though, Jonah. I like that.
I can't think of who it is. I don't care. I'll
I just
remember
like how
it at
you
some
looked up
point.
the snowboarder, Sean White.
Is that his? I thought that was his name.
No, it's a snowboarder and skateboarder.
Okay, well, you keep talking while I figure out who I was talking
Yeah,
about.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. All right. He tweeted with no regard for how people might feel about this tweet. The most simplest thing. He said, the good thing about science is that it's true, whether or not
Sean
you believe in
King.
it. Sean King?
I looked up white guy who thinks he's black, and the first result was Sean King.
That's so funny.
I swear, bro.
Got him.
Got him.
Ah! And that's the guy you hate.
That's the guy I don't like.
Okay, that's the guy you don't like.
That's
All
so
right.
funny.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is not Sean King.
No.
No.
All right, so Neil deGrasse Tyson might be fine.
Yeah, he might be fine. But he tweeted this thing about science being true, and Steak-Umm, the steak company.
Wait, it's only Steak-Umm?
Yeah.
I thought it was Steak-Umms.
No, it's just
Why do
Steak-Umm.
black people always add S's to everything?
I don't know.
We'd be like Barnes and Nobles, Steak-Umms,
DeGrasse
Okay.
Tyson's
deGrasse Tyson's.
on the Twitters.
All right, talk about
Anyways.
the meat and steak.
Yeah, so the meat and steak. So Steak-Umm's, if you don't know, most of their tweets feature just them making puns about meat and steak. Like, hey, let's go meet up, but not spelled, the way you would think.
I think they get it.
Yeah, you get it. But Steak-Umm, they tweet back at Neil deGrasse Tyson. They quote him or retweet him and then go up above and go, log off, bro.
I love how hard it was for you to just say quote tweet.
Yeah, they just quote tweet.
They're like, he tweeted, he retweet on top of his tweet.
Excuse me.
You sound like Ben Shapiro getting in a fight over
Hey,
over pro-life.
You don't know.
Or
you don't know
pro-choice.
You don't know. Facts don't care about your. Facts don't care about your feelings,
Facts don't care
guys.
about your feelings, guys.
Hey, before this, you didn't even know how to operate Instagram Live.
Okay, I knew how to operate it, but I didn't know if it worked.
What?
Like I knew that it was a thing, but it's been a long time. Because I don't have an Instagram. How many times I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a personal one, so I don't know if you guys changed the features. I don't know if it was as easy as just clicking the little cam-mote, which is a camera emote, and clicking live.
You're getting so excited. You're like, hey, everybody, check me out on Instagram
I'm just
Live.
mad that 10 people joined it as if we had something to say.
Yeah, well, come on. People watch and listen to this show, and it's not like we have something to say.
I think we do. I personally think that we have a great show, but if you don't like it, I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Hey, it's my second favorite podcast.
It's my first favorite podcast.
Okay, well, why you got?
What's the worst podcast you've ever listened to? Out of somebody that we know.
Out of somebody that we know? I don't listen to much podcasts.
Oh, word.
To be real.
Okay. I see you skating out of here. You had an answer before the show, but I guess we'll. Okay, so
No, I didn't.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Watch your back, quit the build. Neil deGrasse Tyson said, the good thing about science is that it's true, whether or not you believe in it. And then Steak-Umm said, log off, bro. And then they said the irony of Neil's tweet is that by framing science itself as true, he's influencing people to be more skeptical of it in a time of unprecedented misinformation. Science is an ever-refining process to find the truth, not a dogma. No matter his intent, this message is not helpful.
This is a steak company, by the way.
Steak. But
yeah.
I like the clap back.
No, this is great.
I want to see a roast battle between Steak-Umm, Wendy's, Whataburger, just those three, really.
Yeah, I want to see Steak-Umm just get really philosophical with Wendy's. Like, Wendy's is like, we have the meats, and Steak-Umm's like, what is meat?
One, Arby's says we have the meats. And as a guy who eats as much as you do, I thought you would get that.
I honestly never go to Arby's.
Arby's is low-key fire.
I don't go there enough, apparently.
It's like, hey, Arby's might be the most underrated fast food restaurant in America.
Especially with the amount of money they make.
Okay, Will, who do you think it is?
Underrated fast food?
Into the mic. That's what that thing's for.
It's not Arby's.
What is it?
It's not Arby's.
But what is it?
Yeah, say it.
I hate when people
You can't say
disagree
it's
with
not
something
something.
and don't have an answer. That does not make sense at all.
You can disagree with it.
No, you can't disagree. Talking to the mic. You can't disagree with something and not have an answer.
You can disagree and not have an answer.
No, you can't. Because you're just saying you're wrong and I don't know the right answer.
That's like 99% of everybody nowadays.
I'm so
part
sick
of
of
the
you.
99%.
Anyways, Kevin Flynn said you must have changed social media personnel to Steak-Umm. And Steak-Umm said, nope, science itself isn't true. It's constantly refining process used to uncover truth based on material reality. And that process is still full of mistakes. Get it? Neil just posts ridiculous sound bites. Get it? Like this for clout. And he has no respect for epistemology. Is that a word?
Epistemology. Yeah.
There it goes. Epistemology.
Got him.
And then Rob says,
How much water did you drink? I don't remember, but epistemology.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Rob Honeycutt said, what's the beef here? Pardon the pun. He didn't have to put pardon the pun. You could have said, what's the beef here? Like, we would have got that. Like, you could have been a haha X capital D or something like that. And then Steak-Umm said, just sick of Neil's games. Not a pun.
Just love that. Steak, I'm just sick of Neil's games.
And then, I know, just got like super upset.
Yeah.
And then obligatory thread to remind people that we're a brand selling product, Steak-Umm.com. Check it out. So everything we do is based in self-interest to grow our business. Steak-Umm bless. I don't know what that tweet was really for, but hey, who cares? Speaking of which, Hello Tushy favorited one of my tweets.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Oh.
And I said, hey, you should. I said I would get a bidet if you sponsored us. They never hit me up.
They never hit you up?
No,
They don't
Shady
care.
Rays never hit me up either.
Shoot. They don't
But they
care
did
about
DM me, so I appreciate Shady Rays for that. So thank you.
Yeah,
you
they
guys
took
want to
an
see my new
extra step.
sticker? Where is it? It's down at right there. Put the camera on me, Will. What the heck? I'm trying to show him a sticker. Come on, bro. That one right there. That's 20-10 minutes. That's my boy.
I
Okay.
got that as my only sticker.
Okay. My bad. Now, are you gonna buy some Steak-Umms now? Some Steak-Umm?
No.
Do you say
just said
some
it-
Steak-Umm?
Some Steak-Umms? No.
How much do they cost?
Why would I buy some if you just said it's not that good, bro?
But not that good is not bad.
Why would I buy something that's...
It's been a long time since I had it.
Wow, they got a fire website.
Yeah, there was. I get it because there's fire on the front. You're an idiot.
That's not what I was joking about.
Oh, so it was just an accidental pun.
I guess so. It was just fun.
Kyle sent me a funny pun this week.
What did he say?
He said Black Eyed Peas can sing us a song. Chickpeas can only hum us one. Get it? Hummus. They don't even have the price of Steak-Umms on the website. What the heck? This is bad. You can't buy them online?
I guess you can't buy them directly.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because they're frozen, but like,
Yeah.
the first one that comes up is, do Steak-Umm still exist?
Yeah, they exist and they are loud.
Oh, they're only $6.88.
Oh, shoot.
$6.88.
I'm going to visit my local
We should have
grocery
Jonah
store.
go and get us some Steak-Umms right now and then cook it for us and then make us eat it.
I don't like the idea of him making us eat it.
That's true. Can you cook? That's a no. He goes,
He just went like this, basically.
well, we all know Davey can't. Who do you think the best cook in this room is?
Me.
You're out of your mind.
Absolutely.
You're
it's
out.
me.
Jonah says it's me.
Shut up, Jonah.
Who made his grandma's food the right way? Boom. I'm the only one to perfect my grandma's sweet potato pie.
I've never made sweet potato pie or anything that your grandma has made.
That's because you're trash.
I don't know your grandma.
You don't have to know my grandma to know she's great.
Well, yeah, that's
Do you
true,
know
but-
Michael Jordan? No.
Yeah, no.
Do you know LeBron James?
No.
No. Do you know Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No.
No. All the GOATs. You don't even know them.
None of them. I don't know any of them for cooking, though.
And?
Like, your grandma is probably great.
Probably?
I know that about her.
Probably?
You're so offended. But
Probably?
is she great for cooking? I don't know that.
Yeah. Way better than yours.
You've had my food.
When's the last time
once.
your grandma made food? I've had your food twice. Don't answer that question.
Let's just say it was overcooked.
Oh, bro. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
That was rough.
Yeah, that was a hot topic.
Hey.
What? Dude.
Trying to make a pun saying hot. How dare you?
I'm so glad
Wow.
you don't have a mic right now because
Wow,
that
Jonah.
was left field and too much.
Wow.
Now, speaking of too much and really bad stuff, Logic is coming out of retirement.
And no one wants him to.
You know why Logic is coming out of retirement? He thinks that people forgot that he's part black.
He's got to remind him.
He's like, it's been too long since I told people I'm black. Let me say the N-word.
Well,
I can't
I mean-
say it on Twitch.
He is doing something pretty.
I can't say it on Twitch.
He's doing something that is pretty like a white thing to do, which is be a video game streamer on Twitch, right?
I don't know if that's a white thing to do. Shout out to all of our black creators out there. Fists up.
Yeah. But I'm saying that Logic doing this, it like everybody's looking at him and they're just like, yeah, he's just some white guy on Twitch making
okay.
video game and stuff.
I have to talk
I
about
feel like
this.
it just adds to it.
Now, first off, I sent to the group chat that Logic is coming out of retirement, and we all just laughed so hard. And Jonah, I don't know, have you read the show notes yet? Okay, don't read it, because I want you to experience this in real time. Okay, so Logic's coming out of retirement.
This is so fun.
And he was featured in Hard Knock TV interview on YouTube, and he mentioned and played some segments of a bunch of his unreleased songs. So obviously he's like, yeah, all this music I haven't released.
Music.
And then the host said that he's going to start a petition for Logic to release the mixtape. So at first, Logic's like, nah, I don't really know about that. And then he gives in and he goes, if you get 1 million people to sign that petition, I will drop a free mixtape.
And
so
one thing
what
to
is it,
point
8
out-
months later now?
Yeah, 8 months later, because this happened in August 2020.
August 2020.
Logic announced his retirement would occur on July 24th of 2020. So like less than a month later, right?
Wait, no,
he's in this host.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's less than a month later when he's in this interview with this host, and this host says this thing. Okay, they start the petition like right after that. Like
In August of 2020, they started the petition. So it's taken 8 months for him to come out of retirement.
8 months for supposedly that petition to have gone through.
And that petition
As of recording this audio video,
has 47,631 signatures.
So Logic came out of retirement, and according to the people, they don't care.
My dude said a million signatures. I come out of retirement. 8 months later, he's got 47,000. He's like, man, forget it. They must have forgot I'm black. That's why they ain't signed it.
I love that. I just love that the idea is like, oh man, I bet a million people. I got a million fans. They'll sign my petition. I'll come back. It'll be great.
The thing is, he does.
Yeah,
He legitimately does. I've been on the low. I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine.
Hooray!
Woo! Like everybody was listening to that song.
Yeah, everybody knows that song.
That song was an actual banger though.
Yeah, for real.
Like that song was a bang. I know it was like a sad song, but like it felt
good.
You know?
Made me feel happier.
Yeah, it made me. Yeah.
It made me need something.
Yep. And so,
Life.
as of today, this petition has only hit 47,000 signatures, which is, my math isn't great. Again, I didn't finish college, but I feel like 47,000 is a little far from a million.
It's not necessarily a million.
If somebody owed me $1 million and they offer me 47,000,
And then you'd be like, yeah, no, I'll take that.
nah. Click, clack, done. Somebody gonna get shot.
But how about this though?
Boom.
Someone owes you $1 million. They offer you 47,000, and with that offer, they say, if you don't take this, we'll think you're white.
No, I would rather.
You'd rather have your $1 million?
He's gotten 5,800 signatures per month since the interview.
That's great.
That's pain. That's pain. I think his fans are trying to go on and sign it now because we just caught it and people were signing it like crazy today.
Yeah.
But did the mixtape? Did the mixtape? Ew! Dang it! I'm on camera. Did I was about to blame that on you.
About to blame that on me like you always do.
Like you always do. You're gonna blame it on me like you always do. Do you not know that I'm Jewish by heritage? I went to Jerusalem. I'm a real Jew. Even though my mom's not Jewish, I'm just gonna break all the rules.
I'm just gonna break all the rules. That's so funny because I can't even do that to you. That would just be weird.
Why?
Because
I'm not Jewish.
Exactly.
And black people don't get a free trip to Africa.
Yeah.
Ain't that some bull?
Birthright,
y'all always talking about how
birthright for black people.
I want a birthright for black people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Go to Africa, obviously.
Yeah, but what would be like the things you'd want to do in
Go
Africa?
see where Jesus was born.
Yeah. Nobody correct him.
Go see the pyramids in Egypt, which is in Africa.
Yeah.
Go see all the white people in South Africa and go. Why?
Why?
Y'all always telling us to go back to Africa, but y'all got a whole country in Africa full of whites.
Full of whites.
It's the only place you can get mayonnaise in Africa.
Hey, you guys got Hellman's?
Y'all got help. Y'all got some eggnog?
Hey,
Christmas coming up. Y'all got some eggnog? I bet they got hella tartar sauce there.
Hey, yo, anybody got a fruitcake?
Yo.
No? My mama made one.
Best fish and chips in Africa is in South Africa. I'm willing to bet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the rest of my birthright trip,
In Africa. Birthright in Africa.
Birthright in Africa. I don't know what else. I'll get some yogurt.
Would you want like some of the traditional like stuff like go to on safari or something like that?
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, would that be something you'd want to do?
Are they in cages?
No.
Or are they just outside?
They're just outside.
Nah.
Nah.
I'm good. I want to go to the big cities
actually, that's the
in
funniest
Africa.
thing. Because I've been to Africa twice.
You've been to Africa twice?
Yeah.
How have you never said that before? Every time I've called you racist, you should have just been like, I've been to Africa twice, bro.
What?
I don't know. So that's better than saying I have a black friend.
I don't say that either.
You do.
No, I don't.
So,
no, both times I've been there on safari, you never see a black guy on safari, like ever.
It's because we're not stupid.
Even the tour guide the tour guide is local and he's just like, I'm not getting out of this van.
I'm not getting out. I'm not about to go play. I'm not freaking, what is his name? Joe? From Tiger King?
Oh, yeah. Joe Exotic?
I'm not Joey Exotic. Your boy ain't going out there with no wild animals. If I see a wild animal, it's got to be in a cage. I saw a javelina outside of a cage.
Uh-huh.
I almost punched it in his face.
Why'd you do that?
Because it's a pig. And they don't even make bacon. What a worthless pig that is. What kind of pig doesn't make bacon? A javelina. Huh?
No.
Wait, no, tell me. He said a cop.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Back to blue.
Honestly, wow.
Dang. Thin blue line, fam. What does that mean?
Jonah,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Talking to Will. Will,
Yeah,
will you turn
you're
your
the
mic
one
over there? So, because Jonah's like pretty much a cop, so it's probably best that he tells us about what it. I don't know
Like
what.
he failed.
Wait,
in
is it
academy,
something
but he's
sad?
pretty much a cop.
Does it mean somebody died?
That's basically what it means. Like you said, it means back the blue, back cops. There's also the thin red line, which is back firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's the thin green
generally,
line?
I want to say it's like EMTs or something, because there is a thin green line.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I was just playing. I thought it was aliens.
I was thinking that was military.
Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Let's see if
So-
he's right. What
if
is?
you're right, then you totally are a cop. If you're wrong, no.
Oh no! You should have understood this one. This is Border Patrol agents.
Oh, okay.
That's the one you shouldn't get wrong. What?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, there are a bunch of lines.
Yeah, honestly, how many lines do we need?
There's the
before we
blue,
get
there's the
whole
red,
flag?
there's the green, there's the white races. There's a yellow, there's a thin gray one. Gray's correctional officers, yellow's dispatchers, white is EMS, so paramedics and such. I like
there.
paramedics. Paramedics are dope.
Yeah,
Like, if I was like not me, I'd be a paramedic.
nice.
I don't really know what that means, but I feel like
Yeah.
their job's super cool. Probably super sad though.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
you and I
everybody's
have
like-
both known a guy who was a paramedic.
Who?
Steven, from like back in the old days, who ran the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be a
He's
paramedic.
a paramedic?
Yeah, before he was what he did.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
before he
can't
was
see that.
who he was when we met him.
Logic sucks.
Yeah, take that, Logic.
I'm just kidding. Logic can actually rap though.
Yeah,
Like he can rap, but like I just don't want to hear that.
you just don't want to hear him
Half
saying
black,
that he's
half
black.
white. They all be forgetting that I'm black. Watch me drop an N-bomb. You can't even get mad. Like that.
Yeah.
Who can relate?
Who? Oh man.
So Logic's coming out of retirement. So if any of you guys care, feel free to go get his new album, which is, well, he released a debut track called Tired in Malibu. And I'm going to release a response called Tired of You.
just releases a Logic diss track.
No, I couldn't do that.
No.
That's my homie. Can we talk about this TikTok chick?
Oh my gosh.
We got
yes.
to talk about this because
This is
Davey
funny.
actually went through something super similar. And so
Yeah.
I think that you should be the one to talk about it.
Yeah, I went through something super similar. So there was this woman on TikTok. User is Matilla the Hun. She said
Jump
in a
it, the
video that her ex-boyfriend, but while he was her boyfriend, so at the time, got her a DNA test kit as a gift. Now this was super.
I just took
this
a
was super-
DNA test. Turns out.
And she was eager to find out the health information and background information because her family had adopted her. Her mom was adopted and she never knew her biological father.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But except my mom didn't adopt me, but.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Her boyfriend also bought a kit. I love the excuse for this because they were on sale.
Now,
That's such a guy thing to
I
do.
don't want to. I want to know why somebody's outing him for buying it while it's on sale. Like,
Yeah,
well,
why
what's
you gotta
wrong with
report-
saving money?
I just love that was part of the article.
You can find your DNA at a discount.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
They're like, oh, you want one? How about you buy a second one? You'll get the second one half off. He's like, oh, shoot.
Quick
Might as
question,
well.
John. Are you taking notes? Oh, nice. Sorry.
Nice.
He's looked too relaxed for me. I was
He's
like, he's
just
just
like,
chilling.
I'm
I don't
enjoying
like
this.
it. I don't like how relaxed he looks. He
Yeah.
didn't even got his headphones on. He just
Yeah, Jonah. Get stressed. Relax.
just a smooth criminal over there.
Yeah. But
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
they're on sale. He buys them because they're on sale. And
He bought them because he loves
He
her.
bought- he bought
they
the
just
second
happened
one.
to be on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
It was buy one get one half off or something like that.
Yeah, well, and they clarify he also bought one for him because it was on sale. So obviously the one he got for her gift
Was
for
full
him.
price
Yeah, hopefully.
for sure.
Yeah.
He's a
Otherwise-
big spender.
Big spender. After receiving the results, she looked in awe and she stated, I scrolled down and turned to my boyfriend at the same time and I said, hey, this is pretty nifty.
So this girl's white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This person has the same name as you. And as she explained, that's how I found out I was dating my cousin.
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% your cousin. I was kidding.
I mean, whoa. Can you
Yikes.
imagine? Can you imagine you buy your wife a DNA test and you find out that you're related?
If you're already married, it's too late.
You think if they were married, it'd be too late?
For sure, right?
Yeah, they got a kid on the way or something like
Yep,
that.
as Jonah said, sweet home Alabama,
How'd you took a DNA
where
test?
your cousins are so cute.
Don't
Sweet
take a DNA
home
test or you'll find
Alabama.
out. Someone could
Auntie,
be
I'm
related
coming home to you.
Oh, man.
Yep,
We're singing two different songs.
yep. I was hoping you'd leave the music to the musician, but
Honestly.
I don't come to you and start talking about Judaism.
I don't come to you and start talking about that either.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, Will and Jonah, I have a question for you guys. Switch to
It's
the
fun.
main. How many times? It's really more for Jonah because he's been here for 42 weeks minus the 8 weeks that he's missed for random reasons. One of them was justified, which is for my best friend, his mom. And how many times has Davey mentioned that he's Jewish over the past 42 weeks now? If you were to ballpark it.
150.
150 times. That is at least 3 times a week that you've been here.
Whoa.
Now, do you agree or disagree?
Can I just go on record? I have said it way more times than that.
Facts.
And the fact that you're underselling it is honestly insulting to me and who I am as a person. Don't you know that I am Jewish?
I know.
Yeah, wait. Can we just, Jonah, can I ask you this question? Get back on that mic. How many times in the past 42 weeks minus 8 has Jav said that he's a nice guy?
At least 100.
At least
That's
100
less,
times.
though.
That is less.
That's not true. That's not true. No. I'm a nice guy. I mean, I don't say that I'm a nice guy. F's in the chat, boys. We're going down.
It's like
we're
second
going down on
nature.
fire.
Jav's a nice guy if he does say so himself.
That's actually going on a t-shirt,
I
unfortunately.
love that.
I am so mean.
Fancy.
I'm so mean. I'm such a mean boy.
Yeah, he's a meanie.
I'm a mean. You're a mean one. You're a mean one. What's that song?
Mr. Grinch?
Yeah, that one. That green guy's a freaking bum. Now, would you date one of your cousins? Like back in the day?
Honestly, I don't know any of my cousins. My family just don't work like
Literally anybody could be your cousin.
Anybody.
You could be married to your cousin right
I have
now.
a giant family too.
I mean,
Like, I got 6 siblings that all have like multiple kids. Like, so tons of nieces and nephews. Like, I have a massive family. I could have tons of cousins.
I only have 3 siblings with kids.
Really? Yeah, but I was born like 20 years after my like youngest.
Yeah, your dad
sibling.
was old as dirt when he had you.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you made it to the egg.
I know.
Like, the sperm that you were was literally walking with a cane
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
or a wheelchair or something.
Mhm.
Something.
Yeah. He
You
was
were
just
born with arthritis.
He's just going there he's just going there walking with a cane, going through cobwebs and stuff to get where he needs to get to.
Davey came out like this.
I came out going
Like, they were like, what was his first words? My back.
Linda, where's my medication?
Yikes.
Oh man, my favorite.
They slapped you on your butt to make you cry and it broke one of your hip bones.
Oh man.
Boy, it came out fragile.
They said, "Oh man, this kid's got Benjamin Button." No, he's just old.
He's just old. That's it.
Oh man.
Was your mom even pregnant for 9 months? 'Cause
8.
I feel like you were pretty much ready to be born the second you came out of your dad.
Yeah. The second I was conceived, I was like, "Get me out of here!"
Fully developed.
Yeah, I just popped out. I was
How
like,
much did you weigh when you were a baby?
I don't know, like 8 pounds or
That's
7
way
pounds?
less than I expected.
I was a preemie though.
I
So
get
if I was like full grown, I'd probably been like 30 pounds.
that's a conservative estimate.
Yeah. That's yeah, no, I was definitely an old baby.
Yo, you want to do a contest?
About what?
Let's see who can be vegan longer.
Whoa. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I can do it for the rest of my life.
No, I can't. I'm fine losing today.
Hey, he goes home. I get a call. Hey, bruh.
I
lost.
I just had something. What you have? I
Now
had a taco.
let's do a major callback into something that Davey owes me. You know what it is?
One day where I can do anything you ask. Yeah.
I've
Is
been
it-
thinking about that lately.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's it gonna be?
When is it gonna be? You mean?
No. What's it gonna be?
It's gonna be a day where you do whatever I say.
I know. I was curious what you were gonna say.
Oh, it's gonna be a packed day.
Oh my god.
You might as well take work off
Mm.
because you're getting on a plane. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Davey a plane ticket to somewhere random,
And
and
just
just
leave
that's
me
it.
there.
and I'm gonna say do whatever you want to do,
I love that.
except for fly back.
Until the day's over.
Yep.
I love that. I absolutely love that. You
going
pick
there.
anywhere.
You sure?
I show up and I'm packed for like nothing. Like I'm not even packed. I show up in Scandinavia.
Oh, you're not because I'm picking you up, and then I'm be like, oh, by the way, today's the day that you get on a plane.
It's just like my bachelor party all over again.
Yeah, except for way less fun.
Yeah, and there's no like hour before phone call of like it's happening.
Yeah.
Just I get in the car with you. Oh, by the way, you're getting on a plane. We're going to the airport.
Jonah was 5 pounds and 14 ounces.
Whoa.
What happened? You look like you gain that every day.
Jonah's like, yeah, I eat babies.
Dark.
Dark, yeah.
Dark.
I love how that joke made Jonah laugh and then stop smiling. Like he's like,
I've been into dark stuff lately. Like, not that I'm not usually, but I've been watching like the YouTube horror stories.
uh-huh.
And dog, some of these are crazy, which gave me the idea, right, of having somebody with a very wholesome, happy, exciting voice, like really sweet and nice, read the horror stories in like a happy tone.
And then
he got stabbed in the throat.
They opened the door, walked inside, and guess what happened, everybody? The monster was waiting for them on the other side of the door and bit them in the eye.
I think that'd be awesome. No, but these are not like fictitious horror stories.
Oh, like legit, this happened.
These
to
are
me.
legit. You want to hear one?
Yeah, tell me.
Now,
Tell me in
I'm-
your happiest tone.
I'm obvious. No, I don't want to. I can't pilot my idea without my actual spokesperson. Okay.
Okay.
But it'd be like, okay, so there's this guy who went on a date with this girl from Tinder,
Mm-hmm.
and when he got to the restaurant, huh?
Jonas
Why?
says
He's the first mistake. No, Tinder's fine. You find love, kids. When he got to the restaurant, she said she couldn't find it. She asked if she could just share his location for a second to find out where it was. So they started sharing locations, and then she got into the restaurant, and she looked much older and like more cracked out than she did in her picture. And he went to give her a hug, and she's like, "No, I'm not really into that." Blah blah blah. So they had this super awkward dinner. Then they left. He went home, and then she was like banging at his front door because he forgot to stop sharing his location.
Whoa.
And it was like, let me in, and then broke through his window and jumped through it and like ran up to his bedroom with a knife and tried to kill him. Like, it's like that type of stuff. Not
And then
insane.
she ran up to his bedroom with a knife.
And tried to kill him.
Wow.
So yeah, like that type of stuff. I've been into that
Oh, man.
like hardcore, like because I
Have you been
ran
to-
out of episodes of To Catch a Predator because I've been watching that on YouTube for like 3 weeks. I'm like, I'm so fascinated with that show because the guys are like always so like, oh, it's my first time. It's my first time. And I'm like, bruh, if you hit up 13-year-olds on the internet, it's not your first time.
No.
There's not even a first time from that. You're born being sick. Anyways, so yeah, I ran out of To Catch a Predator episodes, so I've been watching that. And
Yeah.
these have been like Nice. I don't know. I like it. It makes me
Nice.
happy.
Happy.
Well, nobody ever dies because obviously they told a story.
Yeah, someone lived to tell the story.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they died, I wouldn't mind either.
Someone.
Because I think that'd be that'd be kind of a sick turn. Like when you're always listening to ones that are alive, and then you're like, oh, this one is read straight out of an obituary. And it's like, oh,
Whoa. Okay.
that dude did.
Yeah. It ends with like.
Speaking
and the
of
killer's
dead,
still on the loose.
Logic retired. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait.
Well,
No, he came out of retirement.
yeah. Let's talk about this Bitcoin.
Sure.
Are you invested in the bit?
No, but I want to be.
I am a bit.
You're invested in Ethereum, right?
Oh,
Because this affects you too, right?
Ethereum has been awesome.
Hasn't it just jumped recently because of the same thing that's happening with Bitcoin?
Now, it was already going up before. Now, I can't say I don't have a ton of money in any of it, mainly because I don't have a ton of money, period. But I originally bought Ethereum. I'm going back to check. I originally bought it at $350.
Okay.
It's at over 2,000 now.
Whoa.
Now, I sold that Ethereum at 470.
Ooh.
So I only made like less than $100 on it. Oh, I made $120 on it.
Okay.
And so I bought it again later on in life, and I bought a full coin at $706.
Uh-huh.
Now that coin is worth over $2,000.
Nice.
So I made out good. I have
Just
a couple. I have a little bit more in there now, but it's at $2,400 right now. Needless to say. So all you cryptocurrency haters, I've made enough money in it for it to, get me a new mic if I want it. So
Yeah.
I just can't sell
Absolutely.
it though, because what if it goes to 100K?
Yeah. What if it just keeps climbing?
That's the hard part
and
about
that's-
it.
that's
Because
the
you
thing that
always
we're
want to
seeing.
back out when you make money, and then you realize you have to hold it.
Yeah.
Because then you make the stupid mistake like I've done before when I bought Bitcoin originally at, let's see, it was $8,000 a coin when I originally bought Bitcoin,
That's insane.
and now it's 60 something grand.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Bitcoin has hit a record high before Coinbase has been listed on the Nasdaq. So with Coinbase's listing on the Nasdaq, Bitcoin and Ethereum have become like mainstream stock trading items, basically.
Yeah,
And with that, Bitcoin has hit a record high on Tuesday.
it's different now.
It's different now.
The number you have is different because they hit today.
Today they're higher. Ooh. What is
This
it?
morning they were at 64,650, so 64K.
Wow. And that's having and that's just literally the record that I have here is $62,741. That's the day before it was listed on the Nasdaq. Now, a day after being listed on the Nasdaq, it's gone up basically another 2 Gs
It's gone back down to 62.7 now, but it was
Okay.
at 64 earlier.
this morning. Okay. And this is extending its 2021 rally to new heights because every day it seems like it just jumps up, jumps down, very, very little differences between them. And this has just been a really cool climb. Bitcoin topped $60,000 early last month, which was fueled by Tesla's move to buy $1.5 billion of the digital currency for its balance sheet. And for the past 2 weeks, it's just been traded in a tight range. Now being listed on the NASDAQ as part of Coinbase, there's this multi-asset investment platform guy, Simon Peters. He's an analyst who stated this. He said, demand is flooding the market from institutions just as large amounts of Bitcoin and Ethereum are increasingly being taken offline and holders are transferring them into their own wallets.
Bruh, a share of Coinbase is $338 right now.
Yeah, that's insane.
Holy crap.
Honestly, it might be a good time to buy into Coinbase.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, to buy into Coinbase now because it just got listed and then just see what it does in like a year, maybe even less than that.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I personally use Coinbase, and every stock that I'm in right now is something that I genuinely am invested in.
Yeah.
It's stuff that I actually use. Not that I have a Tesla, but I like Tesla.
Sure.
Because I haven't gotten to like the S&P 500. It's like I haven't gotten into like the big portfolios yet, because that usually requires like a financial advisor, and I don't make enough money to need financial advising. I can advise myself for now.
Sure. One last quote from that guy, Simon Peters. He said, there's only one outcome from that, referring to Coinbase being listed on the NASDAQ, and it's investors should expect higher highs and higher lows throughout the year, which means the decrease that we would see over time is still going to be higher than what we've seen in the past.
As in, like, it won't dip as low as it used to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that thing's never. I don't think that thing will ever go back down to what it.
What it
Because
once
okay,
was.
so I have a friend. Well, it was one of my partners in real estate. I was talking to him when Bitcoin hit 30K. He has the money to buy Bitcoin. Period. He does. And if you're listening to this right now, you know who you are. I told you to buy it at 30K. No, I'm so sorry. I told you to buy it at 20K. You said 20K, you could do it, but you want to wait for it to go down to 17. Then it went to 30K, dropped down to 28. I said you should buy it at 28. It will go back up. We didn't want to buy it. Now it's at $64,000.
Yeah.
And he is slapping himself in his face because he would have made 40 grand if he listened to me.
One of the
in the
largest
beginning.
arguments that people make against digital currency or cryptocurrency is that at some point it's just going to die. At some point it's going to lose its popularity.
Not true.
But now we're seeing digital currency, cryptocurrency being listed in a mainstream form. I feel like this is the move that means that it'll never die.
It's not even the currency. It's the blockchain technology is the reason why it has any value.
Mm-hmm.
The blockchain can't be beat. It's the most secure. It may be the most secure system ever. Like a blockchain is much more secure than gold.
Oh, for sure.
Like because the US dollar, you guys know the gold standard, how each dollar is equivalent to a piece of gold somewhere. That's not true. It's not true anymore.
Oh yeah, that's not solidified.
The US dollar is not backed by gold anymore.
No.
So realistically, it's not backed by anything. It's a fiat currency that could actually disappear if we stopped giving it value.
Yeah.
So the same reason why people say that you shouldn't invest in cryptocurrency, that same concept applies to the dollar that we use for everything. We have determined that there's a value for the dollar, and that is what originally it was the gold standard. It was the what are those, the little tickets? It doesn't matter what they're called.
Yeah.
The little tickets, bonds, and all those things were being traded as IOUs pretty much.
Basically,
and then the dollar was backed up by the gold standard. But now it's not backed by that. So the only thing keeping the US dollar, and that's the only one that I can speak on because that's the only one that I know of.
Sure.
Only thing keeping its value is us saying that it has value and us being able to exchange it. The only reason we can't shift to something like Bitcoin is because of how much it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so there's that guy that got paid in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
The football player. That's an idiotic move, right? Because I was telling my friend Brandon this past week. I said, if me and you, let's say you're gonna sell me, let's say you own a house and you're gonna sell it to me.
Yeah.
And you want it, $600K.
Sure.
Is what I'm gonna pay for it.
Okay.
But instead, you know that Bitcoin is worth $60,000,
Mm-hmm.
and so you say instead of giving me $60,000, I want you to give me 10 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And I say sure, I'll pay you on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We shake on it. We're good. We're get it in writing. Wednesday comes around. Bitcoin's worth $10,000, and I have to pay you 10 Bitcoin.
So you
now
just
I've
paid
bought your house for
100,000.
100 grand.
Yeah.
You just lost out on 500 grand. That's why Bitcoin can't be a currency right now.
Because it's not something that immediately can have as much value today as it does tomorrow.
Exactly, because it can change, and you
Yeah.
can get screwed that way.
Like, you can
unless it's
trade
like
it.
a right now, unless you really believe in the currency and you know that it's going to go back up,
Mhm.
but in that moment, it's worth 500 grand less than it was. to you
Exactly.
before.
And like, just imagine it on a very small scale. You go to the grocery store, you want to buy bread. You pay like whatever percentage of Bitcoin of a coin that you would pay for that bread. And the grocery store in that exact moment has made that, but maybe an hour from now, they've actually made 10 times that.
Exactly.
And
That's the
you just
problem.
lost out on 10 times more value and money for your Bitcoin from that.
And that's the thing that people have to understand is that Bitcoin isn't really meant to be used as a currency. It's meant to be an investment. You're supposed to buy it and hold it. You're not supposed to buy it, sell it. I mean, you can buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it if you want to and start taking up those gains.
There's something about exchanging it, but there's not something about using it as a currency.
Yeah,
exchange.
it's not really that great of something to use as a currency exchange.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
agree.
it's going to be like maybe at some point the dollar will be backed by Bitcoin, like something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas it's the backup. It's not the, because it's gonna stabilize.
It's not the main front.
It'll stabilize.
Yeah.
At some point in life. Like we're seeing, this generation is seeing one of the craziest things that the world has ever seen.
Sure.
An opportunity to acquire wealth with nothing.
Yeah.
Like even Dogecoin hit
invest
11
in
cents
something.
today.
Man, we're making it.
That's a lot.
As
I made
compared to what it
$200
was.
on Dogecoin
Wait, really?
because it went up to 11 cents.
How much did you buy it at?
Like 5 cents.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So you must have bought like a ton of it, but you profited.
No, I bought like $100 worth.
Mhm.
And it was like 2,600 Dogecoins. But by them all going up by 6 cents, it adds up, or what, $150, whatever it
That's
was.
crazy.
So like it's pretty cool.
This is definitely the time.
Cryptocurrencies it's a different time. It's a thing that we've never really seen happen before.
And
I'm literally texting Tim right now.
And to say like, just to like say, hey, you should have gotten into this.
No.
And just to say, like, cryptocurrency is definitely the time to still think about investing in that. You can utilize Coinbase for investing in that, or you can even invest in Coinbase itself now that it's listed on the NASDAQ.
Now, we are not financial advisors. We're not telling you how to spend your money.
No.
But
We may know, especially Jav may know.
I don't know anything.
Well,
I'm broke. I'm poor.
I would say you would know more than I
don't know
about,
anything.
Handling finances.
I do know how to handle finance, but
Yeah.
that comes from not having money
That comes from
and
experience.
needing it.
Yeah.
And like making all the mistakes financially. And I still don't know everything, right?
Okay, I'm just, this is just a shot in the dark. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this.
Okay.
If you were brand new, knowing what you know though, what would be the first thing you'd do to try to get started investing in cryptocurrency?
I buy it.
What would you buy?
I'd buy
anything and everything, or was there something specific you'd want?
Am I buying it today?
No, you're brand new, you're going to get started, you're going to choose how you want to approach it. How would you approach it?
But what point in time are we in?
Like
Is it present day?
Today is the day you decided. Like say someone that's listening is like, "Oh, actually I really want to get into this. How do I get started?"
I wouldn't take this as advice, but
But what would you do?
what I would do personally, I would buy a bunch of Ethereum, because Ethereum has so far to go, and you could get so much more of it at its current price, and you could see a bigger return because you would have more of it if it skyrockets. However, Bitcoin's also a pretty good bet because we've seen it go from 0 to 10K, sit at 10K, go up to 20K, die down to 5K, 8K, and go up to 60K. So that's always a good investment. But I would buy Ethereum. I would buy even maybe some Litecoin. Litecoin is kind of iffy. Some Stellar Lumens, basic attention tokens, like just some really simple, cheap stuff. Throw some Dogecoin in there just to play games, and then sit back and watch it. And I would honestly, at this point, what I would do is I would buy all that stuff, and then I would delete my Coinbase app and come back to it a year later.
So that you would just not be following it.
Yep.
That'd be fair.
I would only re-download the app if I was gonna go invest more money.
Yeah.
Put it on a recurring buy, $25 a month, $10 a week, $5 a week, and let it do that for a year and see what you came back to.
Sure.
Personally is what I would do. What would you do?
I'm very, very green to any of this. I would say Bitcoin would be something I'd want to invest in. I'd probably want to invest in it right away a little bit. Not as much as I think I would want to, really.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I would probably want to start small with my investment in Bitcoin to see what that investment does, and if I see it dip, invest highly, and then just let that ride. Because I know history shows that Bitcoin will dip and then grow and dip and grow, and there's more risk and more reward with investing in Bitcoin, as far as history would tell me.
Well, you always buy in the dips, but what if you're buying at the new bottom floor?
Well, that's why my first investment would be like a smaller one, and if I see it start jumping, maybe I jump in a little more.
Okay, but
if I see it dip, I jump in a little more.
But
I would be more
what is a small
cautious
investment to you?
Like I feel like in Bitcoin, a small investment to me would be probably like $500 to start out with as a small investment.
Sure.
I can save that up. I can put $500 into it and see what happens.
I honestly use cryptocurrency as a savings account.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, also, like, I'm not gonna, show like the show kind of what I'm on, but like, I mean, it's not like my actual savings account. Like, that's a little bit of an over exaggeration, but like, this is how much I've invested in it. This is what it's worth today. Like, this is just the past year.
Sure.
So like, everything's in the green. You just have to I
actually love how you have that laid out. If you could forward that to me and I can just copy it for my own expenses, that would be great.
Yeah, because like, if it goes into the red,
Yeah.
then I know I just have to ignore it until it goes back into the green. I never sell. I will never sell at a loss. I had to sell at a loss once because I needed the money really bad and I regretted it. So like, just keeping track of it over time and going, okay, this is doing well, this is not. If this is dipping, I'm gonna buy more into it. See, like, this is a loss at this very moment, but this company is so great, I know it'll come back.
Sure.
Like, it's just about being in for the long haul. Because if I could go back, I would have not sold anything when I sold it.
Sure.
Like, just because it was never a good idea to sell it, but I had to because I needed it at that moment. And that's the hard thing about crypto, is that you don't want to put in stuff that
I feel like that's the benefit that people choose when they invest in crypto, is because you can utilize it as an investment, but then at the same time, you can turn around and utilize it as a currency. So you can say, I've invested $1,000 in crypto. I've made $3,000 in crypto. I need to buy something and I don't have the cash for it, but I know I have a portion of that cash that's worth in crypto right now. I can pay for it in crypto for that portion.
But you
still
don't
have
want
what
to
I've
do
invested.
that. You're better off just
No,
using
you
your
don't.
cash.
You don't want to do that.
Unless you
But I'm saying
have
that it
to.
offers you both without having to sell all or a portion of it at that cost. You can even utilize the crypto itself as a currency.
I would almost rather like borrow the money from somebody that I knew that was into crypto and give them my crypto to hold as like a loan.
Okay. So like the crypto that you give them is kind of like
I'm like, I'll give
collateral?
I'll give you $1,000 worth of crypto today, of Bitcoin today, and you give me $1,000 US, and all I want is my $1,000 worth of Bitcoin back.
okay.
Whatever you make on it, I don't care.
Okay.
But I want the amount back.
Okay.
My $1,000 back.
So that way you can still keep growing it from right where you left off. You're basically
Well, not
saying
really, because you're gonna lose some, but
you're hitting the
you
pause
would
button, basically.
you wouldn't get hit with the fees of selling it
yeah.
and then rebuying it.
Mm.
So you're gonna save $20 there, $15 there, whatever. And you're keeping your investment strong into the cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Needless to say, it's something that's definitely worth looking into if you're interested in that.
But if I could give any advice, it'd be don't invest anything in a crypto that you're not willing to lose. While I don't think you'll lose it, you may not. I mean, you may lose it initially, like you may buy it and it dips like crazy. But if you hold it, I do think it'll bounce back. But don't invest anything that you can't afford to. Because if it doesn't make money, then you're just out of money. Like they always say, don't ever loan money that you need right back.
Yeah.
And essentially, you're tying this money up for a long-term thing. Like it's not a quick fix. You don't just buy it and sell it a week later. Like it's not that simple.
Yeah.
To really maximize your gain on it, you have to hold.
Yeah. Let's continue this like conversation on investing and shareholding and everything like that, because GameStop, their CEO, they're back in the limelight, having to deal with investment and stock market and everything like that. If you remember from a bunch of episodes back, we talked about like riding the crazy like train for GameStop and buying into GMS stock and everything like that, and how everybody was just how personal investors were combating the larger company investor, or basically Wall Street.
Yeah.
GameStop now, in a new development, this does not have anything to do really with their value of their shares. Their shares are still valued, I think, at 600% what they were like 6 months ago. So they're still high, but their CEO has forfeited $587 6,000 shares because he was not
painful.
meeting targets, valued at over $9.8 million.
That is so painful.
You can do the math there to see how shares are equated right now, or you can just look it up and see what is the price of a GameStop share. But basically on Wednesday of last week, it looks like, Wednesday of last week, the chief executive officer or CEO, George Sherman, has forfeited all of his shares as he failed to meet his performance targets, according to a regulatory filing that they had that week. His forfeited shares worth $9.8 million are based on the stock's latest closing price, and GameStop is actually currently looking for a new CEO to replace him.
I'm here. Hello. I want to sell video games.
What?
I want to be the CEO. I want to be the guy. That people call and they're like, "Hey, I want to sell my video games to you." And then I'm going to go, "I can only do 55 cents. And then they go, "But it's Call of Duty Cold War. I just paid it 6 months ago for $60, dude." And I'm going to go, "I'll give you 55 cents. That's the best I can do." And then they go, "Gah," and then they sell it to me. And then I go, GME for life.
So GameStop is currently looking for a new CEO, possibly Javon, to replace Sherman as they're pivoting away. They're pivoting away from brick and
Was
mortar.
that a Friends reference?
Yes, it was.
Get
They're
the shut it down.
They're pivoting away.
I miss
from,
a soundboard where I could just end the show right there.
That's
I don't even know how our intro music sounds. Our outro music sounds anymore.
wow. Big
Doom,
shot over here.
doom.
Doesn't even know how the intro music.
I made it, so shut up.
No, they want to replace Sherman because they're pivoting away from a brick and mortar video game retailer to an e-commerce firm.
You just said retailer like Caleb said flavor.
Retailer.
So they're looking for a new CEO.
Yeah. And they're
Gonna
move
to. They're gonna move to. I mean, it's way overdue for them to move to an online platform. Like e-commerce should have been their go-to years ago.
Sure.
I can't remember the last game that had a line out the door other than consoles.
Only
Like,
time I ever see GameStop with a line out the door is Black Friday.
We have a game. No, we have a GameStop right on the block that didn't have a freaking line out the door on even Black Friday.
Really?
Dude, that GameStop over there is so dead.
Yeah.
I've been in there twice, and both times I've been in there, there's been nobody in there.
The only times I've ever been to a GameStop have been like, I need to get a controller. Or
It's always
something
last
like
minute
It's
needs.
super
Like,
last
I need it
minute.
today.
Like, I couldn't buy it online. I need it today because there's something I want to play. And I walk in there, and both of the times in like the past year that I've gone for something like that, they didn't have what I wanted to begin with.
They don't. I don't even know if they restock.
I don't know who's buying their stuff for them to be like, nope, there's too much of a demand. Like, where's the demand?
No, there's not a
don't see your
demand. There's a
customers.
lack of stock.
Yeah.
They're becoming Fry's Electronics.
Yeah. Well, Fry's Electronics shut down.
Actually
too.
shut down. But
Yeah.
like when I go into the thing is that there's nothing that GameStop can offer me that I can't buy online.
Yeah.
And remember back in the day when we used to like put our discs into our consoles?
Yeah.
Well, we don't do that much anymore.
No. I
They're
mean, you
creating
still
consoles
can,
that don't
but-
even have
Yeah.
CD players on them.
Yeah.
Because it's much more convenient to not have to get up and switch a disc when you can just switch the app on your console.
Consoles now are coming with like promises of how you could expand your internal storage because you're not about putting a disc in your console. Like,
And the worst part is that
Yeah.
it would take up space on your console to download a game and you still have to have the disc in it.
yeah. Yeah.
That never made sense to me.
That was such an annoying thing where you have to put the disc in and then you have to wait for the game to install.
And it's like, bruh, just play it off the freaking CD.
Yeah, and usually when the game would install, it's because they're copying the entire thing from the disc onto your system, so
And
it would
yet you
run
still
better.
can't play it without the disc.
And the disc is just a key.
But
at that
those
point.
days are over.
Over.
And it's time to shift into the new thing. Like we're online now.
Yeah,
Everything's in the cloud. Everything is storage. Like I wouldn't be surprised if these consoles, the next gen, are terabytes of memory.
oh for sure. Yeah,
Terabytes. It's not like a terabyte's going to take up that much room.
no,
There are literally
When you start downloading
There are
games-
multiple terabytes in that PC right
Yeah.
there, which is probably the same size as the Xbox Series X.
Well, and when you consider it like this, some games are like 90 something gigabytes for just the one game alone.
Call of Duty was over 100.
Over 100?
Yeah, the Call of Duty Cold
Is
War.
that even before expansions and stuff like that?
I don't have expansions. I don't know.
Like, so that could be before you even download DLC and other things.
I didn't
that would
download
be
any
adding to it.
DLCs.
So it could get bigger
Yeah.
over time, which is crazy. Like, and think about games like GTA 5 that are constantly being updated and expanded on.
Yep.
That's just taking up more and more storage over time.
Yeah, and these consoles are going to have to come with more and more storage.
Yeah, memory is becoming, I think, memory for consoles is becoming like the most priceless thing.
What is the PS5 storage?
I don't know.
I have one, but I've never
I know it.
checked to
I
see how
know
much.
that I believe there's like a promise of expansion where you can just replace the storage yourself if you wanted to make it bigger. I know they had that with the PS4.
So PS5 has a maximum of 8 terabytes.
Okay.
The newest console ships with 825 gigabytes on solid state, but only 667 is actually usable. So they're getting into the terabytes. Xbox Series X has a terabyte.
Yeah. Maximum of a terabyte or a 500 gigabyte.
So we're getting to the time where all these discs are going to be useless.
Yeah.
And GameStop is going to, I mean, the only good thing about GameStop is that you could go there and like get a controller last minute, but you could also do that at Best Buy.
Yeah.
In fact, you can also do that at a Target
And you probably have better luck at a Best Buy or a Target.
than finding it at. One thing I did, who can relate? The one thing that I did like about GameStop was the used game section.
Yeah,
Back
that
in
was
the day.
nice. Back in the day when you could just walk into a GameStop and say, I have no idea what I want, but if I'm about to see something that's less than $10 and looks fire, I'm going to play that.
And they have the older games too sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the PS2 games. Speaking of that, does my PS2 have a disc? Can you use discs?
Yeah, you can
discs
use
in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it didn't work. That's why you pirated all of it. Either way, how many episodes in a row can I mention that Davey's a pirate? We'll find out. Check out next time on Decent
Arg.
Takes Show. But yeah, I mean, they just have to get into the I don't know, into the now. Catch up with the times. It's good. Now, who's going to be the CEO of GameStop? Because we'll have to move on off from this pretty soon here, considering probably none of our viewers actually care about what's going on with GameStop. But who do you think? I think LeVar Burton should be the new CEO of GameStop, right?
Well, I think he's going to be busy with Jeopardy.
He's not getting the Jeopardy job.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm fine with whatever. But I think that I didn't even know who the CEO of GameStop was before, so it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter who takes the job now.
And honestly, I feel like that's a boring job. For a video game company, I feel like being their CEO is not fun.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking ahead in our decent takes for our 60-second takes, which is not happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think that this topic here should not be the topic that we're on before we go into it.
No, I get that. What about this topic here?
Yes, that one can be the one we go before we go into it, but we do need to talk about this right here.
Right now?
Yes.
You want me to intro it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So this is one that is rough. I believe it took place on Sunday evening. Yeah. So this is Daunte Wright, if you haven't heard. In Minnesota, a police officer shot Daunte Wright. Mistakenly, they pulled their gun out instead of a taser and shot him while he was inside of his vehicle. Basically, Sunday night, during a traffic stop, the police attempted to satisfy a warrant for Daunte's arrest, at least in the body cam footage that was released. They claimed that. The police official said that the officer had intended to use a stun gun on Wright as he was attempting to re-enter his vehicle when they mentioned his arrest. And in the body cam footage, the unidentified officer is heard threatening to use a taser. She yells taser multiple times and then discharges her gun and exclaims, "Holy blank, I shot him."
Now, the feeling of a taser does not feel the same as a gun.
In the hand? Of course not.
I don't understand how you pull your gun out instead of your taser. Now, I'm also not a cop. So are cops' guns always cocked and ready to shoot?
I don't know that.
Because that is a big factor in
I
this.
don't know that.
Because if you have to pull it out, cock it, and shoot it, that is obviously not a taser.
No, obviously not. But if it's like ready to go, or maybe there's some mechanism as you pull it out that cocks it as you pull it,
That's legit.
that'd be legit. Yeah,
It makes
but
sense
at the same
though. But
time,
at the,
like
then
that,
how do you-
that gets you ready for it? Unless they're what if it's like a semi-automatic or something like that?
yeah, it's true.
They could just have a semi-automatic.
I guess it wouldn't make sense if cops had to cock their gun every time they shot it.
Yeah.
But still, the feeling of a taser gun does not feel the same as a
Oh,
a pistol.
absolutely not. And there's more than that too. The police chief, in a interview, mentioned that all of the officers in their police department are trained specifically to have their firearm on their whatever hip is to their dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, your firearm is on your right hip. Your taser is then on your left, which means if you're to reach for your taser, you would reach with your undominant hand. If you're reaching for your gun, you reach with your right hand. So when the officer pulls out her gun, she's pulling it out with her right hand, which is her dominant hand. There's a moment there that's like, it's really clear you cannot be making this a mistake.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't you just notice that you're holding it in the wrong hand?
or how do you not have the focus to look at what you're shooting?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I refuse to accept it was an accident.
I refuse to accept that as well because the officer, police officials identified that evening that the officer involved in Wright's death is Kimberly Potter, who's a 26-year veteran of the police force.
Not to mention, this happened a few miles away from where George Floyd was
died.
killed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
Which,
died, was killed.
Was killed, yeah. And in that, there have been a lot of peaceful demonstrations that have started pretty much immediately after that. It says that they devolved into violence and some looting began. There's actually a lot of like back and forth about looting because small business owners are saying that looting has been high, but the local police department has responded saying that it's low. So we don't know.
I don't give a crap if it's
what's
high or
going on.
low. Can we just stop killing black people? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. What just happened?
What?
I can't hear I unplugged my headphones. Can we just stop killing black people at some point? Like,
Yeah.
can we,
Maybe immediately? That'd be nice.
maybe now?
Yeah.
Jonah with the catch on me, knocking my head. This is how mad I am about all this crap. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. The fact that we're still dealing with this in 2021 is ridiculous. The fact that we're dealing with this in the 2000s is ridiculous. Like, there's no excuse for a cop to pull out accidentally shoot their taser.
Yeah.
I mean, accidentally shoot their gun instead
Yeah.
of their taser.
To discharge a firearm while in the line of duty and call it an accident, I think is really, really.
Didn't you
like-
say that she said something before?
She yelled "taser, taser" as she was pulling it out, which the police chief also mentioned as part of their training. But the big thing for me is that she's a 26-year veteran of the force, and their training tells you which hand goes towards which weapon, which makes it very clear that you're either reaching for your taser or you're reaching for your gun, and you know that.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't believe this to be an accident even if it was a rookie. It's
For
complete BS.
Well, a rookie's right out of academy. They would know it off the top of their head.
But I feel like it's worse that you're a veteran and you
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
you do know the feeling of a taser compared to the feeling of a gun. Period.
Yeah. The weight difference that would be in there, the weight difference of a loaded gun versus just a taser. I'm assuming the taser would be lighter.
Probably.
Probably. One take on this that I really appreciated was Trevor Noah from The Daily Show. He made this statement saying a man was killed at a traffic stop because a police officer mixed up their gun and their taser. Is that even supposed to be a legitimate excuse? Like, we're supposed to watch that and go, okay, one time I used sugar instead of salt, so I can relate. Yeah. I mean, really just points out the severity of it. I'm not saying tragic mistakes will never happen, still quoting Trevor Noah, but what I am saying is that maybe if the police weren't so quick to draw any weapon, then maybe people wouldn't die because of a mix-up from Officer Urkel over here. And by the way, don't you find it amazing that cops think everything is a gun except their own gun? His last statement is, and even if it was just a mistake, that's not a mistake that you can just forgive and walk away.
No, but it'll get buried. in the news.
So far, the only thing that we've seen is that the officer Kimberly Potter has resigned as of yesterday, as of Tuesday. What?
She was charged with second-degree manslaughter.
Oh, yeah, that happened today, didn't it? Today, she was charged with second-degree manslaughter. So we'll see how that develops further.
What if she resigns? Doesn't she still get her pension?
I don't know if you get pension from resigning or if you get pension from being let go.
Well, if
And
she
how,
wasn't
how
like,
that exit is. I don't know how the
you
exit
shouldn't get
is.
a pension if you were let go.
Yeah.
But then again, you also it's so hard because my thing is that a bad whatever they're called, police department could let go people right before they got their pension and not have to pay it. So that's why that you should get your pension if you are fired. But at the same time, when things like this happen, she should be in prison. It shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah. No, I
And was this
agree.
caught on camera?
It was caught on camera. Yeah.
And the
you
worst
can
part
watch
is
the
that
entire footage.
if-
I watched it earlier today.
If it wasn't caught on camera, what would have happened?
It would have been swept under the rug, I'm sure.
Exactly.
I'm sure no one would have.
It's like
talked about
the
this. It's just sad.
the guy from the army. I believe he's from the army that got pepper sprayed.
That was caught on camera as well.
That was caught on camera.
Oh, I watched it
and
earlier
the footage
today.
came out like 4 months later, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we like to be open and honest, and,
this
that's
is-
why we're charging,
Yeah.
or we're dismissing this guy." Like you would not have dismissed him if that video didn't go viral,
Yeah.
because you had it for 4 months.
I want to talk about this guy too because this one, like, when you look at the story of Daunte Wright and you look at the debate that everybody's having on social media of was it like Kimberly Potter like was it just an accident? Was it not an accident? All of that. There's so much debate. You cannot debate what happened to this guy because
You can't debate the first one. You
No.
pulled out a freaking gun and shot a guy
Yeah.
when you should know the difference between a taser and a gun. You're a freaking police officer.
yeah, absolutely.
Get your crap together. You're gonna make me cuss.
I'm
Move
just
on.
saying that with this guy, his name's Karen Nazario. He's a U.S. Army
Is
lieutenant.
it Quran?
Maybe it's Quran. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's probably Quran.
Quran. Okay. Quran Nazario, U.S. Army lieutenant, active duty U.S. Army lieutenant, is pepper sprayed 4 times by an officer during a normal traffic stop. Now, this isn't a case where he had a warrant for his arrest or anything like that. This is a normal traffic stop, and they never told him what the violation was for. There's multiple times in the video where he asks, why am I being pulled over? Why am I being harassed? And they simply just state traffic violation.
And he was in uniform.
He was in uniform. Yeah, in uniform, clear. And they use that against him in the video. They'll state things like, you're an Army lieutenant, you know how to obey orders. Like, it's really messed up, the stuff that's said in this video. It's really graphic too. But basically, some of the first things that happen is right after he gets pulled over, he asks the officer what's going on. The first responding officer, Joe Gutierrez, responds, "What's going on is you're fixing to ride the lightning, son." That's his very first statement to this guy.
You're
after
fixing to
pulling-
ride a lightning, son.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You're gonna tase him?
No, ride the lightning is a Southern term for electric a chair. So when you
Oh
tell someone
my.
that they're going to ride the lightning, it literally is referring to you're going to be put in an electric chair and killed. Yeah. So the officer
For a
Joe-
traffic violation?
for a traffic violation, and this is
Where was this?
before this was in Virginia.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. This was even
Useless
before they got to why he was pulled over, and in fact, they never got to that. Instead, the officer Joe Gutierrez proceeded to order Nazario at gunpoint. So he pulls out his gun.
Did he think it was a taser too?
No. He actually had his gun out, pointed it at him, and asked him to exit his vehicle repeatedly, over and over again, ordering him to exit his vehicle. Nazario showed a lot of like fear in this moment, a lot of, I don't want to get out of my car because I don't know what you're going to do. You just told me that like I'm going to ride the lightning. Now you have your gun pointed out at me. I mean, obviously a lot of fear, a lot of terror coming out of this. Other officers start to arrive on the scene. They exit their vehicles with their guns drawn before even acknowledging why Karan was pulled over. They ordered Karan to exit his vehicle again and again. He expressed his fear of what would happen to him should he leave his vehicle. And then upon stating that he was afraid, Officer Joe Gutierrez, the first responding officer, said, "You should be."
Then pepper sprayed him 4 times.
Then pepper sprayed him 4 times, pulled him out of his car, put him on the ground, and in tears, Karan said, "This is messed up."
and never gave him a reason.
Never gave him a reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, are you guys saying that we don't have a cop problem? There's a few bad apples. You guys can shut up. We're only seeing the ones that were caught on camera. So that means that there are more bad apples than you guys are willing to admit, and that there has to be police reform. I don't give a crap. I don't really give my political stance on anything ever, but something has to change.
Here's what I'm going to say to this is if you are listening, if you're watching this and you hear these stories and you are a supporter of your local police, maybe you are a police officer.
Well,
stories like this should honestly, I've seen.
Let's be careful
really
here. Let's be careful here. I'm not
What?
saying that the police force is wrong. I'm not saying that we need to, get rid of all the police. What I'm saying is that something has to change.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of how you feel about the police. I don't give a crap if you love the police or if you hate the police. Both sides have valid reasons for why they feel the way that they do. But what we need to all agree on is that both of these stories are proof that something has to change. It's not even an option. It's not an opinion. It's not a right or left thing. It is a humanity thing that we can't just have people, for me specifically black people, who are fearing for their lives every time they're pulled over because things like this happen no matter what stature you are. You can't call either one of these two people hoodlums. They're normal people, and one's a freaking lieutenant in the army. Yeah. So it is proof that it does not matter what you do with your life. These aren't thugs, hoodlums, or whatever people are going to try to chalk it up to.
Sure.
These are just black people who freaking drive.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. And what I'm saying to that is if you're on a part of, and if you're looking at this story and you are someone who your feelings towards police are extremely supportive, this is a story that should make you feel really angry, should make you feel like this is a misrepresentation of police. But in the sense of it being a misrepresentation of police, there needs to be a change in the police and reform with police in order for the misrepresentations to stop happening.
All right, let's move on before I get pissed.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson recalled by the CDC and FDA. Now, you guys have been hearing me talk about how I did not want the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And as you guys know, after the podcast last week, I went to go get vaccinated. Now, if you did what I asked you to do and you went on to quit the bill, you'd realize that I didn't die. If you're just now finding out that I didn't die on Saturday, shame on you. But the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been recalled by the CDC and FDA because of a rare blood clotting thing that is happening due to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Now, there have only been 6 of these in the millions of doses that have been given out. So how do you feel about it? Oh, they also screwed up 15 million vaccines. Yeah. And these vaccines don't even have to be refrigerated. Let's be reminded of that.
I look at this story and I think, okay, Johnson & Johnson has from the gate has been having issues with their vaccine, mainly with people just botching on it on social media, or specifically after their announcement for their vaccine be fulfilled by their Boston factory for 15 million vaccines to then just like fail out of that. I feel like it's just all adding up to it, and that's why the FDA and CDC are like, we're recalling on this.
Yeah, I don't think that it is the blood clot.
Yeah, I don't think it's just one thing.
Because like I said, there are only 6 in the millions of doses that were given out. But the fact that they messed up 15 million of their own vaccines is like, you guys are fumbling. Like, just stop for a second and breathe. Remember how you were talking about how the Moderna vaccines before were killing people, and so they stopped for a really long time?
Yeah, they just stopped making vaccines.
That's what Johnson & Johnson needs to do. They made baby powder that was giving people cancer, allegedly, and now they're making vaccines that are giving people blood clots, and they can't even make sure that the vaccines get to people safely. If I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and then they told me that they were recalling 15 million vaccines of the Johnson & Johnson immediately after, I would be not happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even like when a restaurant that I ate at closes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, what did they do?
I didn't even like it like years ago when Chipotle in their northwestern area, right?
Giving people mad cow disease.
Giving people mad cow disease. It didn't even affect Arizona. Arizona was not part of that.
I was over there.
But I was not buying anything from Chipotle.
Or like the freaking when romaine lettuce was giving E. coli to people.
Yeah.
It's like, I I'm not saying, one, I was never going to take a vaccine from Johnson & Johnson. Two, they screwed up 15 million doses of a vaccine that didn't have to be refrigerated. Three, it was immediately after they announced that factory would be creating all their vaccines. And four, who trusts a vaccine that's one dose unlike all the other ones, and also was made out of freaking nowhere?
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson came out of absolutely nowhere. Only two that I heard of were Pfizer and Moderna. Then all of a sudden, like, oh, by the way, also Johnson & Johnson has a vaccine that's available to the public. I was like, you guys can screw. That's not even happening.
And what it did to Richard Terrell.
Oh, yeah. And where did he live?
A Virginia man.
74.
74, living in Goochland, Virginia. My favorite part of the story. Spelled the way you think.
That's Goochland.
It's pronounced Goochland, Virginia. He actually began suffering super strange cyst symptoms 4 days after receiving the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. His dose of the vaccine caused his entire body, or caused a painful rash to spread across his entire body, and all of his skin fell off.
Peeled off.
Yeah.
Not all of his skin, but the layer of
first
his
layer
skin.
of skin or whatever. Yeah, there's pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
of
he
it
wasn't
online.
just walking around like bones.
No, it's just pretty. Like it's
kind of gross though.
Yeah, there's pictures of it online. They're pretty gross, pretty graphic, but it's how he reacted to it. The only case of this I've seen, but Johnson & Johnson. Wow.
Here's the thing. I don't think that the Johnson & Johnson is wrong because of the blood clotting or this random guy's skin falling off. Mine is them fumbling it so many times to where I just don't trust it. Now, let's talk about Japan. Japan has treated radioactive water from the Japanese nuclear power plant, and they were planning to release it into the ocean. A decade after the nuclear power plant meltdown in Fukushima, Japan, the Japanese government confirmed Tuesday that it will be officially moving forward with plans to dump millions of gallons of radioactive water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant into the ocean. Now, let me say that they have treated the water over the past decade. They spent a decade decontaminating the water.
Yeah.
Only leaving naturally occurring isotope in it that scientists recognize as safe for the people and the environment. But despite the safety claims, protesters took to the streets of Tokyo to show disapproval of the decision. Local business owners in particular have expressed fear that many of the municipalities worldwide could ban Fukushima products, including fish, because of the distrust in the water. Obviously, you're not going to buy fish from a place with contaminated water. If you went to a restaurant this week and you were like, hey, where'd you get this fresh cod from? And they were like, Tempe Town Lake. Would you eat it?
No,
absolutely not, because you're eating food out of a place that you should not be getting food out of. I would not buy fish from a place that has water that came from a nuclear power plant. However, the next generation will. Meanwhile, officials have insisted that the dump is necessary as the water takes up a massive amount of space, which is needed to store highly radioactive fuel rods from the remaining cores at the now defunct nuclear facility. So they are stuck between a rock and a hard place. All this water is in the way, but if they put it back into the ocean, nobody will buy anything that comes out of that ocean. So what do they actually do? They drink it, and then you pee it out, and then we're good. Make it toilet water.
I don't know if it's make it toilet water. Then it would just eventually go back into the ocean
after it's been peed in.
Yeah. I feel like if they came out with
it.
some sort of no, they shouldn't have announced it. Absolutely not.
I mean, the government does way worse things to us than pour possibly contaminated water.
It would be very interesting if they had just done it, and then like 10 years from now, people go, "Hey, whatever happened to that? Oh, we dumped it in the ocean."
It'd just be a deferred outrage.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. If they spent a decade treating it.
Yeah, they spent a decade treating it.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Part of me reads
call Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Call Neil deGrasse Tyson. Part of me reads into this story, and I look at how the local business owners that have been expressing their fears towards it, they're not expressing fears of what it would do to the water. They're specifically expressing their fears towards what the news of this does to their business and how people won't buy from them because they'll consider it contaminated.
Are
whether
people
or not
in America paying attention? I didn't even know that they had this power plant meltdown.
Just have to do it. Yeah.
They could have just never told the world.
This was a really big thing that happened back in 2011.
Think about how little stuff we know about what's going on in China, realistically.
Oh, yeah, realistically.
Yeah, we buy tons of stuff from China. We don't know what they do with the stuff in China.
Yeah.
China isn't telling us what's going on behind closed doors.
No, absolutely not.
I had something, I don't know what it was, but it said made in North Korea. I don't know anything that happens in North Korea.
What did you have?
I don't know. I don't know if it was legal. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
think it came from Wish.
Came from Wish. All right.
I don't know, bro. That junk be crazy. I don't know where the stuff from Wish comes from, but it's got to come from somewhere overseas because that junk be taking forever.
Well, yeah. I feel like a lot of stuff from Wish comes from China. I thought that's what it was.
I don't know.
I thought that's how it worked. Like
I
the
don't know
stuff
where it
was
comes from.
overbought or whatever.
I don't ask questions.
I don't know.
I just put in my orders.
I just put in my orders.
All right, I think it's time that we move on to everybody's newest favorite segment called 60-Second Takes. Now, I am going to explain what 60-Second Takes
Cool.
is because every time you do, I don't know, the way you describe it bothers me. So this is what happens. Both of us are going to give each other topics that we do not know beforehand, and they're going to have 60 seconds to debate your stance on that topic, and the other person will get 60 seconds to rebuttal. It's as simple as that. And today's topic is
Death.
ways to die.
Ways to
Which
die.
way would you rather die?
Yep, we're coming up with 5 topics each. What did you come up with 5?
I did.
All right, we're coming up with 5 topics each, basically versus topics. Would you rather die this way or
I think I like the
this way?
verses better than... Sometimes I like the verses a lot.
No, it's
I like
fun.
having 2 to choose from.
I like the verses and then how it just turns into nice follow up afterwards.
Yeah, it's
like
I dig it.
Like with Nick from Quit the Build last week, how we gave him a couple of verses like PS5 versus Xbox. He went Xbox all the way, and then you just went in from that, and we're like, okay, well, what about these franchises, stuff like that? It was really cool. I love that.
Yeah, thanks. Go back and watch it. Anyways, would you like to give me the first topic?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Would you like to either?
Would I like to either? I would not like to either of these. Both of these end in death.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's would I rather?
Would you rather
Uh-huh.
die going out like Elvis or be crushed by a vending machine?
How did Elvis go out? On the pooper?
On the pooper.
Or
Dysentery,
be crushed by a...
basically.
All right, start the clock. I would prefer to go out by... Did he overdose on something?
No, I think it was legit, like just bad food poisoning. It was his heart, right?
Okay, I would rather take the vending machine. I just feel like it'd be less humiliating than dying with my pants around my ankles. And sometimes I get naked when I poop. So, like, I don't want to be naked when I die.
Discovered that way?
I don't know if you guys have ever just stripped down butt naked to take a dump, but it is life-changing. I mean, freedom. Like, if you were to add a squatty potty to that, you would be a donzo. The only reason why you can't do both is because you would never leave the bathroom. So I would much rather get death by snacks because at least I know that I didn't eat junk food before I died because obviously the vending machine fell on me. So I was still on a healthy streak at that point, and God was smiting me for breaking the diet that I would never be on, but I was on for some reason. Put it in my obituary and stop the clock.
All right. I too, you can start my clock. I too would rather be killed by a vending machine because vending machines kill 4 times as many people per year as sharks. True story. And I want to add to that statistic. I feel like I would be much more famous for dying by being killed by a vending machine than I would if I died on the toilet pooping my guts out. Because personally, everybody knows how Elvis died, but only because it's Elvis. Like, nobody would know how I died. No one's going to read that obituary and halfway through go, ha, he died on the toilet, and then forget about it. That's just how it would work. But with a vending machine, people read that and they go, whoa, no way, that sounds really rare. And then you look it up and you find out, no, they killed 4 times as many people as sharks. Crazy. So I want to add to that statistic. I think that's how I would rather die. You can stop my clock.
All right. I am fine with that. I think that I'm glad that we both agree. Now, I have another fun-loving one.
All right.
Would you rather burn to death or drown?
Wow. Start my clock. I would rather burn to death. The reason why? Free cremation. I'm saving money. everybody, my guys. If you want to get you that buck, save you that buck, free cremation, torch a sucker. No, I'm just saying, I feel like drowning is something that would last a lot longer. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like drowning is something that would last a lot longer, be a lot more painful. And I feel like fire, it just, in my mind, the way I hear that story of, oh yeah, he died in a burning fire, I feel like that's just more of a, I don't know, more of a story I'd like to tell people after death. Like, if you believe in an afterlife of some sort and you get to converse with other people in that afterlife, I would rather tell people I died in a fire than I died drowning. That's just how I would feel about it. So yeah, that's my take. Fire over water.
Stop the clock.
Stop the clock.
Okay.
Are we just gonna adopt that now?
Yeah,
from there?
absolutely.
Yeah, love
absolutely. Start my clock. I would much rather burn to death
Ooh.
than to drown, because I have this dying fear that one day I'm going to be on ice for some reason and I'm going to fall through the ice,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be able to see all the people walking on the ice above me and nobody's going to know that I'm drowning under it. That is a recurring nightmare that I have.
Shoot.
So I would much rather burn to death, because I believe at some point all your nerves burn off and then you don't feel it anymore. And then you're just slowly withering away. And you would also save money on cremation. That was a good point. So I'm good with that. I'd rather burn to death. And honestly, at least at my funeral, somebody, probably you would be like, it was lit. So I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't drown to death. I couldn't deal with that. Stop my clock, please. One second. I gotta tell Davey something off mic.
What? Oh. He said,
"Oh, all right, your turn."
Oh man, that was messed up. Yeah, I'd be.
Subscribe to the
Subscribe to our
Patreon for
Patreon.
the uncensored version.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, is this gonna be the one? Like, is this
Jonah,
gonna be
read your
the?
phone.
Is this gonna be the theme where Jonah just died? That's hilarious. Is this
Show
gonna-
will.
If you want to hear some of the worst things that we could ever say to each other or to you, definitely start subscribing to our Patreon. Because oh my
that's
gosh, that
messed
stuff
up.
hits. That stuff cuts deep. Okay.
Burned
Is
them.
this gonna be the theme where we just agree on everything? Like we're both equally dark in this moment?
No, I don't think so. One of these
One of these.
we're gonna split on one of these. We
I'm
have
sure,
to.
I'm
Okay,
sure.
what do we got?
Would you rather die from food poisoning from a meal that your wife cooked or a meal you cooked yourself?
Oh, start my clock. This is gonna sound stupid, or it's gonna sound sweet. I would rather it be my own cooking, because I don't want anybody else to, feel like they're the reason that I died.
Mm-hmm.
That might be too soft or sad, but I don't care. I don't want anybody else to have any type of blame feeling for my death. I would rather it be my own food that killed me, because at least I knew it was good, because I cooked it. I don't have to trust. Like, if it was bad because it was cooked bad and it was all my fault, I'm fine dying because of my own mistake, but I don't want to die for somebody else's mistake. That's all I need. That's donezo. Stop
All
my
right.
clock, please.
Stop the clock. You can start my clock. I absolutely agree.
Well, mainly because you can't cook, so it'd be more likely that it would be your food.
Shut up. Okay.
What?
I can cook pretty great.
Ask
all right?
your wife.
Here's the thing, though. If I die from my own cooking, the big question is everybody will remember that I'm a bad cook because I killed myself for my own food. Problem is I don't ever want my wife thinking, what did he say? Oh, just the song that he put out? No, I just think that
He put "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel.
just call back. But
Oh my
I'm just
God.
saying, like, I don't ever want to put that kind of pressure on my wife because I know she's the kind of person that she would blame herself for it.
Yeah, let's take my take. Go
Like,
ahead.
well, she would blame herself. She wouldn't like think about the food company that supplied us the food or whatever that could be, like any other avenue to blame someone else. She wouldn't do that. She would absolutely take it on herself.
All right.
So, yeah.
Would you rather be shot by 1,000 arrows or stabbed 1,000 times? and you live until the 1,000th one.
Oh no. I would rather be shot by 1,000 arrows.
Start his clock.
Stop my clock. Start my clock. Yeah.
1,000 arrows?
1,000 arrows. Here's why.
Oh.
I would live so much longer, and I would be grasping for every extra second of that life, just to be like,
not if it's 1,000 archers.
no, one guy shooting 1,000 arrows, just one dude there, like. A couple of times he misses too. Like you're just like laying there with like 648 arrows in you.
Oh.
It's about to be the 649th, and he fires and misses, and you're like, "Come on, man, just get it over with." Like I just want to be that guy yelling at him, being like, "Finish it, you loser!" Like I just want that moment with a dude just staring him down, being like, "You suck." Miss, like as he like kills me slowly, because a bullet that's just way too fast, and I'd rather go slow and painfully. You can stop my
no,
clock.
it's stabbed. It's not a bullet.
Stabbed?
It's stabbed 1,000 times.
I still go with the arrows.
All right, start my clock. We agree on this, but for two very different reasons. The only reason why I would choose to get shot by 1,000 arrows is simply because there's nothing I can do about it. Like, if somebody was stabbing me 1,000 times and I didn't fight back, I just look like a punk. Like, I would rather have a reason. Like, obviously, I lost that fight. He was shooting me from 100 yards away with arrows. Freaking Oliver Queen was over here shooting me, and what am I supposed to do? It was Oliver, Thea. What's Thea's dad's name? Merlin. All three of them were shooting arrows at me, and the girl that Oliver married. Only for like a minute. No. The girl, the fighter girl who was in the. No, not Sarah. What is her name?
You're gonna run out of time.
No, what is her name? You have to remember this, Jonah.
We'll
they got an annulment. It was.
I'll just let you struggle through this.
The guy's daughter. Not Raj.
Work it out.
What the heck? I watched this whole freaking show. I'm gonna have a meltdown. I'm gonna have a freaking meltdown.
I'm gonna look him up.
Raj Al Ghul, his daughter. What is her name? Who? Talia. Talia. No, the sister. Forget it. She dated Sarah. Girlfriend on Arrow. Yeah. Nisa. That's who it is. Okay.
Would you rather get a job as a telemarketer, be threatened, and actually hunted down and killed by the guy you called, or be that guy and lose to a telemarketer?
Wait, what?
Would you rather get a job as a telemarketer, be threatened and actually hunted down and killed by the guy you called? You know how you get like a telemarketer call? Or you are that guy and you lose to the telemarketer who called you and you die.
You lose to the guy? Oh, you go to kill the telemarketer and he kills you instead.
Yeah.
Okay, start my clock. I'd much rather be the telemarketer who trolled somebody to my own death. Because that's very fitting to me. I feel like if I were to die because I trolled a telemarketer, people would be like, that's sad, but, you know, I get it. So I think if I was choosing what was more fitting, I would take that. And I also, again, I have an ego that would be destroyed if I went to go kill somebody and instead they killed me.
Yeah.
Stop the clock.
All right, start my clock. I totally agree because my ego would shut down.
Shattered.
It would be shattered. Like, I don't want to hunt down a dude who called me to begin with, but also I would totally want to be the guy who gets hunted down because I called you up and tried to sell you something, and you were so mad at me that you came after me and were like, I'm going to kill you because you tried to sell me insurance on my car, even though I already have insurance on my car, or whatever that would be. Or you called me for other reasons and it just was harassment and I hated it and I hunted you down. I would much rather be the guy who called than the guy who was so angry about it that he had to go out of his way to hunt down that other guy.
That's good.
Yeah, I would just much rather be the telemarketer in this scenario. And I don't mind if I die because of it, because at least I die the winner.
That's true.
Stop the clock.
All right, I got a good one for you. Rather be hit by a car or clubbed by a gorilla?
I love how yours are short and sweet. Mine are like background.
This
story.
background. Would you rather be hit by a car or clubbed by a gorilla?
Clubbed by a gorilla. And here's why. Start my timer. Start my clock. I hate the idea of being hit by a car. I think that's just the stupid, most laziest idea ever. Like, why would I be hit by a car? That's awful. Like, but being
so
clubbed by a
possible,
gorilla.
though.
It's possible. It's much more possible. I could say I'd rather be clubbed by a gorilla and it actually happens and it takes several years for it to happen. But if I'm like, I could be hit by a car, that could happen tonight. Like, that's something that could happen today.
That's true.
Yeah. Like,
But
being
you could
clubbed by a
also
gorilla
get clubbed
is,
by a gorilla today.
oh, for sure. But you know what? If I die today because I was clubbed by a gorilla, I'm going to be laughing my butt off all the way into the afterlife. I'm going to be like, ooh, you guys got to hear about what happened to me.
Joke's on you. There's no afterlife.
Oh. I'm gonna be laughing into nothingness. I'm just as I dissolve, my entire like body and soul just goes away. There's no soul, whatever. As I just dissolve into absolute nothingness and perish in the darkness, my last thoughts are, that was really funny. Stop my clock.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose to be hit by a car.
Oh, okay.
Now that I understand that you would like the story of being clubbed by a gorilla, but here's my issue. If you get clubbed by a gorilla, you're ruining many people's days. If you get hit by a car, you're ruining one person's day. And that's the person who hits you with their car. When you get clubbed by a gorilla, you're in a place that has a gorilla, which means that you're either at a zoo or you're on a safari trip, which means that there are other people who are there watching you get clubbed by a gorilla. You don't just walk by a gorilla on a daily basis. To your point, you would be somewhere where you were having a fun time with your friends, possibly family, and they're going to watch you be destroyed to death by a gorilla and forever hate zoos and safaris and gorillas.
Don't care.
I don't want to ruin the gorilla for the rest of everybody else's life. I'd rather be hit by a car. Stop the freaking clock.
See, my thing is my family would, if they were with me and seeing this happen, they would, every time they would visit a zoo after that, they'd be like, remember that's time Davey died?
No,
by
that's not how people
They would
respond
totally
to things.
make fun of me.
They would be traumatized because you would be dead.
All right. Well, I don't know. My family's weird. But
Oh my God.
would you rather die for a bit, like a comedy sketch?
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
You're doing a bit. Would you rather die for a bit and everybody thinks that it was still a joke and they're laughing at your corpse, or you die for a bit and no one thought the joke was funny?
I would
just
rather die
immediately-
for a bit and they laugh at my corpse, because then they're going to feel terrible afterward for laughing at my dead body. You there listening to this show. I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
No, if I'm doing a bit and I died for the sake of content. And we're assuming because they're laughing that the content was good. Honestly, content's king. And if I live by the content, I got to die by the content, son.
Woo!
So if if I'm going to die for a bit and nobody laughs at all, it wasn't worth it. Because the point of the bit was to get a laugh. So not only do you die, but you're also a failure. You failed at living and you failed at making a funny bit. Stop the clock, you losers.
All right, start my timer, start my clock. I think that dying for a bit is absolute commitment, and I am wholeheartedly for the whole point of committing to the bit. Commit to the bit at all costs. Unless you already like have a preconceived notion that you would die from the bit, don't commit to that bit. That's a stupid bit. But if you don't have that preconceived notion, you're just like, I'm going to do this bit, and then you die from it. Absolutely, I agree. I would want everybody to laugh at my corpse. Not for the same reason, though. I don't want them to laugh because I think that they would feel bad afterwards. You're listening to me. I don't think that. I think it would be, I would want to be a success, even into death. I don't want the idea of my death to ruin my joke. Like, I don't want to die doing something that I think is funny, and then everyone's like, oh no, Davey's dead, sad. I don't want that moment, because if I'm seeing that happen, if I'm in some spectral ghost form and I see them not laughing and they're just actually concerned, my immediate reaction is, you missed the moment, because I want them to laugh at the joke before they recognize that I'm dead.
Yep. I 100% agree, which brings me to my fourth one.
Shoot.
Would
Lost it. Lost it.
Would you rather choke to death on a piece of chicken or be choked to death by a chicken?
Oh no! Start my clock. I would rather be choked to death by a chicken.
Okay, you weak punk.
Here's
You
why.
died to a chicken?
I said I'd be clubbed by a gorilla.
You're
I
right.
could say anything at this point.
You're right.
I would hate to go down as someone who choked to death on a piece of chicken. Because that's, to me, that's a more loser move than being choked by a chicken. So being choked by a chicken for me is the funny bit that I was doing and died doing. Like, that's the bit that everybody should be laughing at. Like, haha, cuckoo, sucker. Like, I just want that moment. But if I'm just choking on chicken at like a restaurant and people are like, oh no, he's choking, and then I just die there, that restaurant goes down in its reputation. They killed somebody. And everybody that I know is no longer into eating chicken. They're like, oh, I can't eat chicken. Every time I eat chicken, it reminds me of Davey. But if I was choked to death by a chicken, all of my loved ones, when they eat a chicken, they laugh because they go, remember that stupid time that Davey was choked to death?
I don't think
by
that
a
they
chicken?"
laugh.
I don't think that they would be traumatized.
I think chicken's still ruined.
No, that's my time.
Start my clock. Here's the thing. I would rather die choking on a piece of chicken because nobody could make fun of it because it'd be racist. You could not even mention the fact that they would have to say he died choking on a piece of meat. Like they couldn't even. He choked on poultry. Like they could not say he died. Like
meat doesn't help the case.
I feel like Davey would be the guy who would be like, he died doing what he loved, and then everybody would be like, that's not funny. And also, if you get choked by a chicken, you're an ultra loser because they don't have hands. Yeah. So you got choked by wings, bro. Like, which is possibly worse than choking on a piece of food, because we all choke on food every once in a while. Just some of us don't make it.
Man.
Which means that I would just be a part of a bigger cause that says eat your food slower. Stop the clock.
Man, was that your last one, or is
nope? I still have one more.
Starting into it now. Okay.
And my last one's a banger too.
Okay, I hope this one's even remotely close because yours has just been fire all the way through.
Let's see what you got.
All right. Would you rather die saving someone else, but they're pissed that you saved them, or you let them die and their relatives kill you for revenge?
I would rather die saving somebody. This is an obvious thing. I don't care if you don't want to live or not. I'm going to save you if I can. So I would much rather die a hero than die.
To see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, than live long enough to see myself become the villain. Like, I'm not ready to be taken out by somebody who's mad that I let somebody, like, because they would have the right to kill me if I just let their cousin die. Like, oh, he was choking on a piece of chicken and you could have gave him the Heimlich, but instead you watched and make caw noises, and that's not even a chicken noise. A chicken goes. So that was good.
That was very good.
That A1. I think stop the clock. I can't get better than that. I'm dying a hero.
I'm not following that. I got no rebuttal because I completely agree with you on all fronts there. Only thing I'd add maybe is love the background of the chicken. Only thing I'd add maybe is, like, if someone showed up and they're like, we're killing you because you let our son die, or we're killing you because you let our brother die, or whatever, I would be like, yeah, no, I get that. That makes sense. So yeah, I agree on all fronts.
All right, is this the last one of the whole 60-second takes?
This is it.
Would you rather? Woo!
I can't get so excited. We're talking about death.
You can about this one. Would you rather be walking outside and a piano falls on your head,
Straight up Looney Tunes,
or fall out of a window and land on the piano?
Okay. Start my clock. For sure, comedy gold, I would choose walking outside, piano just falls on my head, because that is the most random moment.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If I'm walking in a building and all of a sudden I walk outside and I'm falling to my death, that's stupid on my part. But if I'm walking down like the sidewalk and a piano just crashes on top of me,
oh my,
everybody watching is like, and then they realize that it's serious. Like, there's a split second of like, huh?
I don't think that. Okay, go ahead.
I have a different way of perceiving. I have a different way of perceiving the world. Like a piano fell on his head. I just think that it would be a really funny moment in my mind and my mind alone. Let the piano fall on my head. Let's go. Stop the clock.
I hate it. Start my clock. Listen, I would much rather fall onto a piano because the sound would make it funny. Imagine hitting the keys like
Yeah, he played out his final note. Like
yeah. And that's a wrap, folks. I don't know. I feel like I think it's as ironic as it is to have a piano fall on your head. I think it's even more iconic to fall on a piano. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Are there any deaths ever that were somebody falling on a piano? No. I think not. We're taking this to a new scale. Get it? Terrible fun. Will's rolling his eyes to the back of his head right now.
Just picture the moment.
Let's switch keys. I'm
you just imagine the moment. This is my final thought. This is so funny. You just imagine the moment you're standing out by the window. You turn to like the janitor or something that's in the building.
Holy!
You just turn to the janitor.
Look like a crackhead right there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're standing by the window. You're about to walk out of it. You know you're about to walk out of it. I don't know. You turn to a janitor or someone that's in the hallway of this place. And you just you say, "Watch this." Jonah says, "I say." You look at that janitor. You go, "Play me out, Johnny," and then you just walk out. Bang.
I feel like that death. The last words are, "Play me out, Johnny." Wait. Hold my beer.
Play me out. Nah, I'll do it myself. Bang.
All right, that has been another episode of the Decent Takes Show. I'm Jav.
And I'm Davey.
Thank you for our wonderful producers, Will and Jonah. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Decent Takes Show.
Ooh.
Follow us on Twitter at Decent Takes. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Hit that like
Thank
button.
you.
Also, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. If you don't like our show and you made it this far, you're a liar.
All right.
Where do they follow you on Twitter and Instagram, David?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DavySinger3.
And you can follow me on Twitter at the name's Jav. And that's a wrap. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Decent Takes Show, serving mediocrity to the masses or greatness to the globe.
You decided.
Peace.
So long.